Welcome to Radels.com installation guide videos, part 1, where we're going to talk about domain names and web hosting. If you already have your setup for a domain name and web hosting, you can just move to the next videos. So what is web hosting? Web hosting is where we put our files or our content for it to be able to display on the web. And a domain is where a person can go in a browser to where they can search for your domain and go to it and display back the content or files that's on your web hosting. So your web hosting holds the content that's going to display, and the domain is how they get to the content. So you need both to be able to get a presence online or to set up anything to where you want to log in, have like a login area for accounting or whatever it be. You need both to be able to set this up, anything like this up. So let's talk about web hosting for a second first. So the Radels.com software, we built it on a2hosting.com, and it's been great building it there, and we love their support and things like that. They do a great job. So we've just always just stayed there because we love it. So we were going to put the price here for the web hosting plans, but we decided not to because we didn't want to sit and manage pricing as it changed. So I'm going to click on this link here to go over to the hosting plan that we built the software on. And we're on this shared hosting plan here, this introductory one of $7.99 or the lowest plan. Now I'm going to go over pricing for just 1 second in case you're not familiar with how hosting services do this. So this is an introductory rate at $7.99. Most hosting companies' services, pretty much all of them, will give you different terms or intervals that you can sign up for, such as month to month, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and so on. When that time period ends, you're going to have to renew at the higher or the regular price here. So whatever you sign up for, or when you sign up, you should always try signing up for as long as possible financially that you can do, because it's not going to make it to where you go to this higher pricing as early, right? So if you can sign up for 3 years and they offer 3 years, you should probably just do the 3 years if you can financially do it. If not, obviously do a shorter period of time. But that's kind of how the pricing works, because you are going to get charged at this higher price as soon as that term ends. Okay, so we're on this shared hosting plan, which has been fantastic for the Radel software. And what I mean by that is our software is so optimized that it doesn't take a massive hosting server to be able to run it. You can run 20 or 30,000 visitors a day through our software on one of these lower shared hosting plans without a problem. Our software runs extremely fast and does really, really well. Now, the hosting company at a certain point, depending on where their threshold's at, because every hosting company is going to come up with their own threshold, to where they start to say, hey, you're starting to get too much traffic. We want you to upgrade because of the amount of traffic you're getting to your website. When that day comes for you, you'll figure that out. But in the beginning, this plan is more than enough for creating a store, whatever it is that you want to do with the software. It'll more than handle it. So this is the web hosting account that we are on. Now, I'm going to say that there are a lot of web hosting services out there, a lot. And so you don't necessarily have to use this plan, or you even use A2 hosting. However, we've loved it. And it's been tested here, it works here. Now, the software does work on MySQL PHP. So anybody who offers those softwares, which is pretty much all hosting companies at this point, you can run our software there. So this is where it's been tested and developed, though, okay? Now, we're going to talk about domain names is next. Now, when it comes to your domain name, you can buy your domain name either, a lot of times, from the hosting company themselves will usually offer you a way to buy a domain, or you can go to like a third-party place, buy your domain name first, and then point it over to your hosting server. And so we chose that route. We have our domain name over at GoDaddy. That's just kind of how we've always done it. And we have our hosting with A2 Hosting. Now, when you set up your hosting plan, they're going to ask you for a domain name. So if you don't have one, you're going to have to buy a domain name first if you want to go and get your domain name like at GoDaddy. But if you decide, hey, I'm just going to buy my domain name my web hosting. I'm just going to do it all in one place. You can just do it all in one place because you're going to need it during creating your account. So with that being said, let's jump now over to GoDaddy and that process, okay? So when you are searching for a domain, if you don't have one, you're just going to go to GoDaddy.com and you're going to put in keywords here or the domain name you would like to have itself and hit search domains. Once you find a domain that you like, you purchase it, you check out, you're going to log into your account and it's going to look like this. Now, when you log into your account, you're going to look for these little dots that make a square. And I think it might be over here when you first log in. But what you're trying to get to is manage my products. And when you get to manage my products, you're going to get to this page here. And this page is going to show you all your domains. But we purchased the domain of radelsdemo.com, where we're going to build all this out so that you can see how this is done. And so we're just going to go ahead and click on manage or your DNS here where we can edit it. And that's going to, of course, for your domain, that's going to open up this new tab here where it will open up here on our DNS records where it's going to show you your DNS records. Now you're going to go here to your name servers and enter your name servers in by changing name servers. Now, if you can't change your name servers because it says there's an error or something here, sometimes I've noticed that happens on new domains. You can go back to this is through GoDaddy, of course. You can go back to the DNS records here and click on change your name servers. And this will often work for you to be able to change them. But what you're trying to do is update your name server so your domain points to your hosting account if you bought your domain and hosting at separate places. If you buy them together all at the same place, you don't have to do any of this because the hosting company is going to take the domain and just point it to their own server because they're buying the domain for you. And so it makes it a little bit easier, but it's just in however you want to do it. So, but once you buy your hosting and have your domain name, your hosting company is going to give you these name servers. So A2 Hosting runs their name servers with 4 of them. So it's like ns1, ns2, ns3, ns4.a2hosting.com. So this is pointing our domain over to the web hosting service. So now when someone comes to Radels Demo, which we're modifying here, it's going to say, hey, where's the files for this domain? And GoDaddy is going to say, oh, go get the files over at A2 Hosting. And this is where our software comes in. Our software then says what URL is being requested and what should we load, and it starts to do all that side of it. Obviously, it does a lot more than that, but this is kind of like the beginning stages of where the software kicks in to be able to load the website. So we buy a domain name, we buy hosting. Depending on if we buy our domain name together with our hosting service, if we do that, we probably won't have to update these name servers. If we buy them separate, then we'll probably have to update our name servers because we'll have to get them from the hosting account and point our domain over to the hosting account where our files are going to be for what we're going to display. That's pretty much how you set up your hosting and a domain name. So in the next video, we're going to go into, now that we have hosting and a domain name, we're going to go into setting up the software on the server and beginning to get it to where we can create an account within the software to get everything running. So jump to the next video to continue going. Thanks for watching.